Hey everybody, it's Missy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and this is my first layout using the 2017 August kits, and they are so pretty as always. I picked out a few papers that I wanted to start with, and I really liked these black and white elements on these beautiful crepe papers, but I also love the blues and this paper with all the kites on it, and I just decided to go for it. I jumped right in and just started to fussy cut out some of these kites, and I wasn't even really sure yet what I wanted to do with them. I kind of wanted to use them as diamonds and sort of create an interesting background shape with all different colors and patterns, and I played around with it. I sped this up quite a bit because I totally change it, but I thought maybe I could make a big star pattern and kind of start it in the middle. And I thought about using that picture because I thought it matched really well, but as you can see, since so many of the kites are different sizes, it wasn't working. So I kept playing around with it for a while to see if I could come up with something else. And so I try to create a different type of shape here, and it still just looks kind of wonky. It wasn't what I had in mind, so I scrapped that idea and thought I'll just actually make these look like kites floating in the sky because, you know, they're kites and why not? So I thought I would start with some white cardstock and then really try to use up some of the pattern paper. I love the shade of blue here in this paper, so I cut about half of it off, and I'm going to use that at the top part of my layout. It's kind of a sky, and then I'm going to use this paper that's more of a grass green color. It still has some of the same blue flowers on it, but it's more of a green, and kind of tuck that under as not necessarily grass, but just sort of the illusion of, you know, I've got the sky and then I've got the ground, even though the bottom of the layout is going to stay white. So it's definitely not a realistic landscape, but I just wanted to create the idea of a sky and some grass. So I do want to add some watercolors and things to my background, and so I take some white gesso and just do some smudging around. I'm going to go over the top, the bottom, mostly on the left side because that's where I want most of the watercolor to go. I changed my idea. I'm going to use these two pictures, and they're just some cute black and whites of my daughter just looking cute one day, and so I thought I'm going to use those. And I played around with the kites for a while and kind of figured out how I wanted to do them. But before I glued anything down, I took them all off, and I'm going to start to work on my background. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is use some of my favorite shimmers products that I pretty much keep on my desk, and these are from previous hip kits. They are Jenny B Blue and Well Blue Me Down shimmers, and they're basically my go-to blue aqua turquoise colors. I use these so much. This one is actually in the color kit this month. It is an original shimmers paint, and it's called Jilted Jade, and it's more of a grass green color, and these come already ready to go. They're in the little pots, and they're thicker than the sprays, and they've also got like chunks of, it's not glitter, but it's sparkly chunks of something in there, and when this dries, it is super sparkly. Very pretty, and it works with a brush, it works with the packaging, it works splatters, you name it. You know, you can manipulate it to make it really thin, you could thicken it up and keep adding the same thing over and over to make it darker. It just depends on how you use it, and that's the same case for almost any mixed media products. So I'm just trying to, you know, jazz up the background. I know I say that a lot, but I like to kind of create a little bit of a mess coming out from behind everything. And my poor napkin, check that out. Yeah, I use my napkins until they're pretty much completely colored. So I bring the photos back to kind of look and check and see where, you know, where everything is and what I need to continue to do. This yellow paint is also in the color kit this month, as is this pink spray. So we have 3 shimmers products. This pink is a Vibes. It's one of my favorites, called Sweetheart. No, I told you the wrong one. My bad. Colorings, Pretty in Pink, another one of my favorites. I just had Sweetheart here on my desk. I think Sweetheart may be coming up in another one. I could be wrong. This is Colorings, Pretty in Pink. I have too many shimmers. Can you tell? I can't even tell them apart anymore. Anyway, it's a pink color, and I wanted to add a little bit of pink here and there, and then I'm going to go back into this yellow. The yellow is Creamy's Daffodil, and I added water and let it soften up a little bit because the Creamies come to you hard, and you have to add some water to them and let them soften up a little bit. So I let everything dry. I did a little bit of machine stitching right there just for a little bit of detail, just because I felt like stitching. And you know, sometimes when you just feel like doing something, you should just do it, right? And so that's why I did that. I like the stitching, I like the effect it gives, I like the texture, and it just makes it look finished, if that makes any sense. So now I'm going to come back in with all those kites and try to place them in random spots to where the colors are spread out. And I don't wind up using all of them. I actually use the back of this one here, so it doesn't have the black stripes on it, but that's okay. It doesn't really even matter. And I like how the background, you know, you can tell where all the watercolor is, but it's a little bit subtle, but it still gives it some interest. So I'm going to lightly stick down these kites. I am going to add some foam under some of them at some point to give them some dimension. But I don't want them to move, so I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. And now I see where I need a little bit more pink. So I'm just going to continue to work on the background to add more pops of whatever color needs to go where. The yellow is really pretty. It's a nice bright yellow. It reminds me of the Coloring's No Yoking spray. It's a little bit softer, and the Creamies, if you've never used the Creamies before by Shimmers, they dry with a very shimmery finish, but it's also more like a satin finish. But you still get a very pretty sparkly finish. Okay, so I tried to get crazy here and did some stitching for all the strings of the kites. And at first I just did a straight stitch and you couldn't really see it, so I went back over them with a little bit of a zigzag stitch. And it's still very subtle. You can't really see. You can just see a bunch of holes in the background. Up close you can tell that it's stitching. But I wound up trying to fix that here in a little bit. So I'm going to try to add dimension to the kites that aren't under the photos, just to kind of give them a little bit of dimension. And I didn't want the kites just floating in space, and so I thought all these kites need string. And so I thought I would use white, but the white blended in a lot. I think I should have used a different color, but that's okay. You still get the idea. I thought about using some of the washi tape, but on the colored background you could see the entire piece of tape and it just looked like I stuck some tape there, so I'm going to save that for something else. Now here's my favorite part of this layout. This is the little sticky note pack from Crate Paper, and I decided to make a little banner using several of these pieces, and I love how this turned out. This was super easy. You can make a ton of banners because each of those little shapes has a huge little sticky note pad or pack. You know, there's a huge stack of each one, so it'll be a long time before you run out of those. So this is an idea on how to use those. You can make a banner. And so I just kind of lay it out and I overlap some small pieces, some triangles. And then before I realized what I really wanted to do with it, I go in and add my thread. This is just some of that coral color to match the coral color kite. And I hope my voiceover is not annoying or crazy today, because I've spent the last 24 hours working on this video. My software decided to just not upload anymore. I don't know what happened, so I'm trying to use something different here, and I'm totally off my game. And so hopefully I'm not driving you too crazy with whatever it is I'm saying. So I'm hoping that this will work. So I took a piece of jute twine or cord, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty thick, and I'm going to glue these little banner pieces right on top of it. And so once it's dry, it's going to look like that. And now I'm going to fold the top pieces over so it looks like an actual little banner. And now I can kind of twist it and manipulate it to, you know, how I want it to go, because I don't want it to be stick straight. I want it to look like an actual, banner that's kind of hanging off to the side there. And so now I can bend it and work with it there. And I love how that turned out. I think that's super cute. And I was like, go me. That's so cute. Have you ever had that happen to yourself where you just really liked something that you did and it actually turned out better than you thought? I think it looks cute. And I love all the colors. And since most of this, well, all of this so far is crepe paper, it all matches perfectly. And so that made it a lot easier. So here's where I decided to kind of make the kite strings stand out a little bit more. I took some white acrylic paint and a little teeny tiny brush and just decided to paint right over the stitched lines, and it kind of works, it kind of doesn't, and that's okay. Just add some more texture. But I just wanted them to stand out a little bit more, and they do. But I really hadn't planned on painting over there, but you know, it's okay. You can see them a little bit better now. So this is the puffy sticker sheet, also from Crepe Paper, and this is the Carousel collection. I don't think I said that, but everything is so pretty. The colors, I love it's got my favorite 3 colors in it, but it's also got a lot of black and white, which really makes everything just pop. So I'm going to add in some stars and that little happiness banner. I think it looks great, tucked in right there on top of that bottom photo. And then to complete the title, I'm going to use some of the exclusive, these are not navy blue, but I guess they're closer to navy blue than royal blue. They're definitely on the dark side. And I'm just going to put in the word sweet, and it's just going to be Sweet Happiness. That's the title. I didn't really want to spend a lot more time trying to come up with something really clever because it's just an everyday moment. She looked cute, she was happy, and she's sweet. So I thought, you know, that's going to be our title. And plus sweet was a nice short word, and it fit right there, and it worked. So these are some of the exclusive die cut hearts, and the one on the right there is from the Crepe Paper Ephemera pack. And then I'm going to use 2 of these bows at the bottom of 2 of the kites, and I love how that looks. I'm glad I decided to do that too. They were perfect for that. Because I definitely wanted to add in some pops of black and white. You know, now that I look at that one, I should have left that one there. I don't know why I didn't. So I only have 2. I try to do 3 of things, but for whatever reason, I took that one off. These are the exclusive Hip Kit wood veneer buttons, and they are adorable. We got a pack similar to these, I think 2 kits ago, and I wanted to hoard them forever. So I decided to ruffle up some of the edges of the kite there just to make them look a little more realistic. And then I'm going to come in with my ruler, add a little bit of journaling lines. You know, I thought about moving the title over above the banner, but I kind of wanted to leave that part open just because I think it looks good with that open space there. I did add some black splatters, and this is another Shimmers product that I have in my stash. It's called Night Moves. And then I used one of the Pretty Little Studio, what are those called? Label pieces, to stamp my date. And then I'm going to come back in with some more hearts. These yellow ones are from Crepe Paper, and then a couple of the exclusives, and then some of the Crepe Paper cardstock stickers. And I like how this is turning out. You know, it's different for me. I think it's cute. Oh, I did add this banner, and this is a sticker. I did have to stick down Sweet with some glue because you know how things go. They don't want to stick on top of gesso. So I glue those down, and then I'm going to add in this little cardstock sticker yellow banner. I'm going to tuck that in and kind of make it work. So I have a little banner on the right and a little banner on the left. And I think that's going to wrap it up. It's getting close to being finished. I play around with it and move it around some. But this was different for me. I like the design. I think it's super cute. I added a little bit of machine stitching under the date, but that's the final layout. I love the colors. I love how it turned out. You've got to check out these kits if you don't have one already. If you're interested, make sure you check out hipkitclub.net, and these are the August kits. You can find them all on the website. Here's all my close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love how the texture looks, the dimension, all my favorite things. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.